Hello, bonjour. Welcome to the Ecole St. John 23 virtual open house presentation. This presentation is recorded so you can look at it at any time. There is only going to be one presentation tonight, and the kindergarten presentation has already been pre-recorded. A whole school tour and much information is on the school website, which we will show you how to access at the end of this presentation. First of all, let's introduce the admin team. My name is Michael Kovacs. I'm the principal of Ecole St. John 23, and my assistant principals are Nicole Stang, Michelle Irvin in elementary, and Julianne Drone is the junior high assistant principal. Now at our school, we have our own song and our own school prayer, and let's say the prayer with Madame Irvin leading us.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Jesus, Pope St. John the 23rd, encourage us not to concern ourselves with our failures, but rather with what is still possible for us to accomplish. Please help me to remember that with you all things are possible. Pope St. John the 23rd, please pray for me in our hour of need. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And we'll also have our Treaty 6 acknowledgement.
We acknowledge that we are on traditional land of Treaty 6 and home of Métis Nation of Alberta Zone 4. We also acknowledge the Inuit and other diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors have marked this territory for centuries, a place that has welcomed many peoples from around the world to make their home here. We at Edmonton Catholic Schools commit to restoring and honoring the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. We strongly believe that truth must be acknowledged to move forward to reconciliation. Together, we call upon our collective communities to build a stronger understanding of all peoples who dwell on this land we call home.
Thank you, Madame Irvin. And as we mentioned, St. John 23 is the namesake of the school, and we consider him our hero. The school is named after St. John 23, who was the Pope who brought in actually Vatican Council II, which modernized the Catholic Church. He was canonized in 2014, and of course our school is named after him, and we consider him our hero. Our hero mantra comes from the term HERO, honest, excellent, responsible, and original. And each year we celebrate Hero Week, where we look at our traditions at our school, and we remind ourselves of our mantra of HERO. Now, Hero Week is where we look at these values. We usually have a pep rally. All the students get a school t-shirt with our logo on it, and we look at our core values. Of course, then we also take class pictures. We develop a hero wall, and each student is asked to comment on how they're going to be a hero during the year. So usually we get about 1,800 answers as all our students and the staff respond. And this year we made a giant cape of St. John 23. Who are we? Well, we've had staff from over 35 schools come to join us the last 5-6 years as we've been open. And there's a picture of many of our staff on one of our PD days. Now, each year we visit our own values and remind ourselves of the types of students we wish to develop at the school. Independent, self-directed, responsible students who are held accountable. Students are not bubble wrapped away from their responsibilities at our school. We ask the home to work with the school to develop student independence. Of course, with COVID, we've had to really make sure that our students are independent, as things like dropping off lunches and bringing water bottles to students has no longer been allowed. We found our students have benefited and became independent over the last 2 years. Now, the school itself is a beautiful state-of-the-art building that was built 6 years ago. It has beautiful collaborative workspaces and soft seating and open spaces. You can see in normal times how the school is filled with students, and we've already gone back to many of those aspects. We can have lunch in these areas, we can do projects, classes can move outside, and parents can see that at our school, collaboration is very important. Now, when you contact the school, we have a host of people that can help you. I've already introduced the admin team. In the front office, our admin support is Danielle Porter and Mina, Coco. And our clerks who will be answering the phones most of the time are Claudia Juba and Steve Landor Negro. Now, we have a large student support team that can help our students both in regular classrooms and kids that struggle. We have a family school liaison worker who works closely with homes. Our primary emotional behavior specialist is Erin Cornwell. We have a variety of learning coaches, Nicole Stang, who's assistant principal, also is responsible for many of the English student needs. Deanne Baudry, prior French immersion consultant, takes care of a lot of our French immersion needs. We have multiple tech coaches, a chaplain, an ELL specialist. We also have literacy intervention with empowered reading by Christine Broughton. And of course, our early learning team of Carrie McPherson and Desiree Magalo take care of our kindergarten, as they are our teachers in kindergarten. Of course, as a Catholic school, faith is very important to us. This is a picture of our chapel, which changes with the seasons. Celebrations are important to us. We have Mass at the parish once a year. And of course, we also have a grade 9 farewell Mass. So working closely with St. Thomas More Parish, we work with sacrament preparation, and we also have a music ministry and One Voice, which we participate in during the year with our elementary teacher, Kiana Davis, and our junior high teacher, Julie Scott. One thing we did do before COVID was, and well, we actually still do during COVID, but it was recorded, was our One Voice sessions. This is where our elementary students come to the gym every Thursday, and we look at videos, renew our faith, and it's all tied to the curriculum each year. We also have occasionally junior high, which we call Soul Train, and we basically examine our faith through music and through large presentations every week. This really helps us develop our faith in a fun and exciting way. In music, we have, of course, I mentioned before, Ms. Davis and Scott, who are music teachers. We primarily use the ORF music program for grade 1 to 4, and we provide instrumental band in grade 5 to 9. Basically, we start at the end of grade 5 learning the instruments, just like in a regular junior high band program. Of course, we have 2 music rooms, which is a benefit. We have concerts, usually at Christmas, which we plan to do next year, spring concerts, and with over 1,000 students, our concerts are pretty big. They have to be held off-site, and we have wonderful presentations, and sometimes bring in instructors. Last year, for example, from West Virginia to help do residencies in our school. Of course, we're a dual track school. These are roughly our numbers this year, which will change a little bit next year. Essentially, kids come in and half go to French and half go to English in kindergarten. And then they work their way up through the system. We're a little bit more in English because when we opened, we only had English classes in grade 7 and 8 and French in grade 7. But now we're pretty well 2 classes per grade all the way up to grade 5, and we expect to continue that moving forward. Now, Joan Carr School is opening in the new year, and so we will be losing about 150 English students, so our English numbers will go down, and that will allow us to better utilize the school, because right now we're at 115% capacity, and instead of having 1,050 students, we'll go back to 900, which is a nice number for this facility. In French, we use the Common European Framework of Language, which is the DELF program. This is an international program where all of our teachers are trained in. In fact, we are, to the best of our knowledge, the only French immersion school in Alberta that have all their teachers taught in the Common European Framework of French Language Acquisitions of Skills. So we're pretty proud of our French program. Our teachers are the best in the city, and they have been providing tremendous support to all of our students in French immersion for the last 6 years. Of course, we have French Carnival. It's been downsized in the last few years, but we actually provide this each year for both French and English students. And it's a fun week of activities, looking at French culture, song, and so on. Kindergarten. Now, many of you are registered for kindergarten. We do 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Same times, AM and PM. Classes are split in half. We usually have an AM class and a PM class in both French and English. Thursdays, there are no classes. There's occasionally we have to have both groups in for a full day of instruction to meet the minutes of instruction. But basically, we run 4 days. We have staggered days for introducing of the kids into the school, and we'll continue that this year. The dates have not been set yet, so you'll find out when you register for kindergarten how the staggered entry works before you come for your regular day. And staggered just means we only have like 7 or 8 kids in for an hour or two just to slowly get integrated into kindergarten, rather than having full classes on the first day. Our kindergarten staff, we mentioned before, Madam Irwin is for French immersion, Nicole Stang is for English, and the teachers we mentioned before, and also we also have learning coaches provided to them. That's an example of one of our French immersion classrooms. They're side by side. They're beautiful spaces. The French classroom has spaces and so on, and in English it's a little bit bigger on the English side. All right, now childcare is a question. We do have a number of childcares throughout the community. Windermere Daycare is the main one across the street from us. They take our students. We used to have a YMCA daycare in here many years ago, but we just didn't have room. So the Windermere Daycare does provide for St. John 23 students. Ambleside Daycare is around. Bright Paths also has a van that comes to us, same with Lux. And the Windermere Early Learning Center. So those are ones that you can get transportation to school on busing or vans. Of course, there's other ones that you may choose, but we've already within 6 years developed a wider range of childcare possibilities. And we work with the Windermere across the street from us even to decide, we pick whether you're an AM or PM based on space and things like that, but then they work closely with us to accommodate us. So we've got a great working relationship with all of these daycares. Communication through Edmonton Catholic Schools, for us, it's Google Classroom. So when pandemics hit, we were well prepared because we were one of the first schools in Edmonton Catholic Schools to go all Google Classrooms, even when we opened 6 years ago and people didn't even know what Google Classroom was. So we've always been great at communicating with you. We use other methods of communicating. And of course, we use the Swifts for general messages, e-report cards, newsletters, electronic. Once you get in, you'll learn how to use Google Classroom and PowerSchool. We even have our school website, and we've even developed an athletic website where you can track games and so on. We use Office 365, and you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. A lot of stuff on Instagram. That seems to be our preferred method for sports teams and meetings and so on. And the School Advisory Council has a Facebook page as well. Now our school, I'm just going to show you a little tidbit. We do have an entire video. It goes through every room and it's much more detailed, but this is a short 1 minute quick view of our school. It shows our chapel. There's, for example, our construction lab, state-of-the-art foods lab, 8 kitchens, art studio for art classes, example of our collaborative spaces upstairs and downstairs, full-scale computer lab with solid-state computers, drama theater, junior high music room, and elementary music room. So a wonderful facility. That's a kindergarten classroom. And we have 2 gyms, large gym and a small gym. Sorry. Now, in junior high, we have many options, and you just saw the facility. So we're allowed to have these wonderful facilities, and therefore we can offer options in state-of-the-art rooms. So you can see kids working in construction. Once you get in grade 7, within a month, you're building things. Foods labs, everybody loves to take foods. I think pretty well every kid in our school takes foods because it's just a fun activity and it's a good life skill. The art studio has floor-to-ceiling windows. That's an example of our Christmas concerts or spring concerts. We get 1,500 people because when you have 500 kids presenting, you need an external facility. And we have worked with the local large church to present our productions. And offer FSL for grade 8s if numbers warranted. So it's a great facility, and we could offer all these programs in them. Now, for many of you coming, this is your first time coming to junior high, there's a list of all the options on our website. You click on which options you want. There's an option form, and basically you click from 1 to 6. What do you prefer? Now we run, of course, in French immersion, they get one less option because they have to take French language arts and English language arts. So you get typically 2 or 3 full blocks of options. You can take a full year option like music, or you can take half year options like art and drama. So I have some examples down there. You could take art and drama in option block 1, foods and construction in option block 2. If that you're in French immersion, if you're in English, you'd have another block. But if you're in French, for example, and you only have 2 option blocks, you take music for a full year, and then the other one you could take art and drama. And of course, in grade 8, you can switch it out. You can take art in grade 7, don't take it in grade 8. The only one that we prefer you keep taking every year is music, because of course you're learning instruments, although Mrs. Scott, our band director, is able to slide kids in and out because she is just incredible. And of course, it's a large school. The junior high is actually not that large considering, but if you look at all the activities, we offer a little bit of everything. We have Cafe Silverback for junior high. Of course, we have sports, drama, music, academies, social justice, dance units in junior high, formal days. We're a school of a little bit of everything. So we're not an art school, we're not a music school, we're not a tech school, we're not an academic school. We're all of those things. And we want our kids to be able to be excelling in every discipline, not just one. So you won't see us promoting one activity over another. We're a school for everybody. Of course, a big part of that is athletics. Elementary has, of course, volleyball teams and running teams. And then in junior high, even though, again, it's a small junior high, we offer a full team in every Edmonton Catholic school sports. And sometimes even flag football, we join the public school. So if you're in volleyball, for example, we have 2 elementary teams, 2 junior teams in junior high, and 2 senior teams. So that's 6 teams just for volleyball. And so typically right now we're just finishing basketball with 4 teams. That's about 50 kids. But we have less than 300 kids in junior high, so about 1 in 6 teams are playing on a basketball team right now. Cross country, of course, we have large teams, 70 or 80 members. And of course, we do very well. As you can see, we've won numerous championships already. We've built an athletic wall of fame. And I think we've got already 16 individual city championship students and 6 team city championship so far. And I think we have a list of them on our website. One even went there. We are the only school in Edmonton Catholic for the last 30 years to win the mixed relay at the Journal Games. So, or running room games as it's known now, sorry, running room. And of course, our Silverback, we didn't even have a mascot the first year. We wanted everybody to understand who St. John 23 was, but our mascot is a Silverback. He's the king of the jungle, top dog. He is the king of all sports. So we want to be top of the jungle when it comes to sports. And we have a pretty cool logo to go with him. Now at St. John 23, 21st learning, and as pandemic has shown us, we need to be tech savvy. So there's a list of the things that we have, but what you're going to notice when you come to our school is pretty well by grade 4, everybody has a device. I'd say 90% of the kids have Chromebooks, 5% of laptops, and there's probably only a couple students per grade that don't have a device. We do have extras for everybody else, but you will see that, for example, we don't have textbooks in junior high. The textbooks in junior high are 25 years old. They're changing right away. Our teachers use Google Classroom and technology every day. And so our suggestion to you is if you're coming into our school, grade 4 and up, the best thing to do, and they're not expensive, a couple $100 you can buy a Chromebook and it will become the most important device you have and the best investment you've ever made in your child's education. Of course, we have wireless networks. Students can bring phones, iPads, anything they want to use all day long. Now, a big part of our school is academics. And so this is listed as 2021 because we haven't had provincial achievement tests for the last 2 years. But this is a combination of satisfaction surveys and our PUT results. You can see our current results versus previous years. We are above the province in virtually every department, whether it's a safe and caring school or academic achievement. When you look at the right side, blue is the highest you can receive. If once you receive blue, for example, in achievement, you're at the top of the pinnacle. So we have all blue and a couple in excellent, which is just honors, and parent involvement, we're intermediate. And I'm going to be honest with that is because a lot of parents didn't fill in the form, didn't do the survey. So we didn't get high participation rates, which usually indicates satisfaction. The middle part is how you are every year. Well, it's yellow because we maintain those very, very high areas every year. And so overall on the right, you can see where we are. To get an all blue green chart like this on academics and surveys, you have to be doing something right. And so we're very proud of our achievement, but also how our students, staff, and parents see and perceive the school. So for example, the satisfaction survey results, just popped in a couple here. I show respect for others in my school, 98.8% of grade 4 to 6, 99.2. So that's virtually on a 5-point scale. We only have a couple kids in each of those areas that didn't rank us 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. And you would think there'd be more kids saying, yeah, no, maybe not. But that's what our students think of our school. And of course, what do our parents think of our school? Well, here's one. My child creates and promotes a Catholic learning environment. And you saw the safe, caring school numbers on the previous slide, 99.1%. You would think there'd be more parents who maybe were disillusioned with some part of the school who would not click off on that, but those are tremendous results. And that picture actually, there's the St. John elves. We actually create Christmas gifts for inner city schools every year. Our entire junior high makes gifts, and we usually travel to the schools. So that's a part of how we create a positive Catholic environment. All right, so registration. So most people just register online. It's the only way you can actually, and they just come and go. The two areas we're looking at are kindergarten, grade 7, as those are the only places we accept students, because unfortunately, because of our capacity at 115% this year, we only accept Catholics in our catchment area. So it's very tightly regulated. We just don't have room. Joan Carr is opening in 2022, and the boundaries you'll be able to see where you live if you're eligible to come to this school or Joan Carr. Of course, if you're an existing student or in Emmett Catholic schools, even if you're not in our school, there's a tagging system where you click on the school you desire to go to. All of our students will just re-click St. John 23. But if you are coming to our school, you would click on tagging and choose us, and then we would follow up with you in the registration process. Now, as we said, Joan Card, and of course, everything's done online. So no need to come to the school. There's no forms to fill out, transportation, everything. You do not need to come to the school. Everything is digital now. And when we record 200 new registrations each year, that's the only way we can actually do it at this school. Now, I mentioned Joan Carr, the catchment map. This is our catchment area, and the area on the bottom is the Joan Carr catchment for English only. Of course, we have a larger catchment for French immersion. So catchment for French immersion is the Joan Carr English area, the St. John 23 English area, and the area north of St. John 23, north of the Henday, which is the Monsignor William Irwin catchment area. That is our junior high French immersion catchment. Now, just to be clear, if you want to register a student at our school, you need to be in that catchment for French. But if you want to register in English, you have to be in our catchment area, okay? So you can't come to our school outside of catchment area in English if you are just coming for French. So the maps are on our website. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory, and just make sure you look up your address to find out where you are eligible to come. Transportation, you can see our busing. We have 10 buses. We have buses for kindergarten. We have buses for the childcare. It's a big procedure in our school, and I know busing has not been successful the last few years with the lack of drivers and so on. But normally, a lot of our kids come from transportation. The Power School login helps you with all of that. And the information is all in. We created a parent handbook. And the parent handbook virtually has everything you need to know about the school. What do you do the first day? So for example, the first day, you'll get a message from our teachers saying you are in 1A. Please meet at this door at 8 o'clock. And you will see in this handbook links for school supplies, transportation. So we went through everything that you could possibly call the school about, and we put the links in on what to do. And so last year, after this presentation, we only had one phone call because everybody goes to the parent handbook and says, oh, that's how I do transportation. Oh, school fees are paid this way. This is how I register. And so before you call the school, just check it out because it will tell you 99.9% of what you need to know. And next year we will, regarding drop-off and so on, we're going to continue with our staggered drop-off because with 1,000 kids, we can't have everybody walking through the door at one moment. So here's what you can look at to catch up on what's going on. First of all, we have 2 tours. A whole school tour, which will walk you through every room in the building, and you'll get to see everything from the kindergarten rooms to junior high construction labs. So that's a nice video that we put on the website. There's a different one for kindergarten. So those kinders you can look to see, and it gives more information on the kindergarten. I didn't talk too much about the programming in kindergarten, English or French, but you're going to see that on the kindergarten tour. The open house information, there is a St. John Parent Handbook, which has all the questions that you need. There's also a registration handbook. So please look at those 4 items. They're on our website and they will answer all your questions. If you still have questions, of course, you can call the school, but we'll probably just refer and look it up on our parent handbook. Okay? So that's how it works, the registration process. We've tried to, in the pandemic, create as much information on our website so you don't have to worry about looking for anything. All right, of course, the 2 front admin 5 people are Danielle Pointer and Mina Coco. You can email them directly. That's our website. And they will take you through any questions you have about the registration process. So I know we went through a lot in a short time, but we hope this just gives you a little bit of a feel for our school and some of the background information that you don't get from the tours. And of course, go looking at the information we have on the website. We think you now have a plethora of information to look at. And we really hope to see you next year in person. And I believe this will be the last time I'll be doing this presentation in this format. And we're hoping to even have parents are already coming in for games right now. And hopefully by the end of the year, we already booked some concerts and we hope to see all of you very soon. So that's the end of the presentation for today. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.